Hey up, it's Steve from that old Yorkshire geek, and it's welcome to Magnificent Mondays, episode 103. And this week we're doing Under Siege. There it is, in the box set with Under Siege 2, which we're not doing, we're just doing the first one. I don't mind the second one, a lot of people don't like it, I think it's okay. But Under Siege is the film that kind of put Steven Seagal on the map. It was, Die Hard on a boat, that's what it was advertised as, wasn't it? But anyway... Wingrace is here saying, couldn't it be lurking on the background? Okie dokie. Are you busy? Are you busy doing stuff? And rightly so, Never mind me and my stupid show. Anyway, before we start, don't forget to like and subscribe, share the videos, drop a comment, hit the notification bell, and all that stuff. If you subscribed already, we're live on YouTube, and we're live on Rumble, and we're live on Twitch. Don't know why I keep doing Twitch. I've checked them all already, and I've got to close them all now. I used to have all the windows open so I could keep an eye on them. For some reason, can't do that anymore with StreamYards. It just slows it all down, and that's why I think my audio dropped out that time. And so I've got to not bother. But anyway, what else? Explore the description for links for stuff like merch. Look, got some merch. A mug with me face. A mug with me mug on. Merch and me books. Yeah. There they are. Silent Predator. Short horror novella about genetically engineered big cats eating people in the North Yorkshire village. Why did they make genetically engineered cats in the... You know what? I honestly can't remember. I wrote the bugger and I forgot what happens in it. Mercury Rapids, a light-hearted sci-fi action-adventure about UFOs and stuff. On Amazon, Kindle and paperback. Bit of fun, that's all they are. Right, what else? I forgot what else. Oh, right, yes, links in the description for me other websites and me other channels and all that stuff. And become a member, and then you'll get exclusive videos and early access videos and all that sort of stuff. And you can join us in the live chat like Wingrace if you're a subscriber for more than a day. So there is that as well. Right, so Under Siege. Let's have a little chat about that before we get into it. From 1992, directed by Andrew Davis. Although I think Steven Seagal originally wanted Craig R. Baxley to co-direct it with him, but he obviously got overruled on that. Stars Steven Seagal, obviously, Tommy Lee Jones, Gary Busey, and various other people. Written by J.F. Lawton, who I've never heard of. What else has he done? I had no idea. Pretty Woman. What else? Under Siege 2, he did that as well. Chain Reaction. Is that one with Keanu Reeves? Something about water, innit? Is it Keanu Reeves? Can't remember. I've not seen it. So there we go, so he's done them. Apparently got 1 million bucks for this film, for this script. So can't be bad, eh? What else? Had a budget of $30 million. I've seen 32 million as well, but anyway. Box office of 156, so it did pretty well. And on the back of this film, Harrison Ford saw a rough cut of Under Siege, and because of that rough cut, he wanted Andrew Davis to direct The Fugitive, which came out the next year. So there we go. So it got Andrew Davis some more work. So there we go. What else? I can't think of anything else to say about it. People like this film. It is really, really good. I think it is really, really good. I really like it. I just don't like Steven Seagal. Maybe I'm alone in that. Maybe I'm not. I have no idea. I think he's way overrated. I think he's a terrible actor. I think he has no charisma whatsoever. Yeah, he's good at the giving it all that, but you can train an actor to do stuff like that. Get a proper actor. I don't like Steven Seagal, I'm sorry. Even though he's got a cool first name with a V. But anyway, right, so we'll get into it, shall we? We're not going to be watching the film because YouTube will go mental and stop the stream. We're going to watch it in a series of stills, and I'll try and remember what I've learned about it, which isn't a lot because on the Blu-ray, there's bugger all on the Blu-ray. There's a trailer and that's it. I hate vanilla Blu-rays. Remember the days of DVDs when you got cool menus and loads of behind the scenes and commentaries and all that. You got vanilla DVDs as well, I suppose. But anyway. So, trying to remember what I've learned about it. As I said, which isn't a lot. I don't know a lot about this film. I know little bits about it. But we'll get on with it, shall we? So, I'll pop myself down in the corner and we shall begin. So, right. Down I go. Whee! There I go. Hopefully StreamYard is going to behave itself. I think it's been playing up a little bit for some other streamers earlier on this evening. But we'll see how we go. Hopefully I'm okay. I'm just going to have a look. You might hear my voice. I don't trust StreamYard these days. It's getting as bad as Streamlabs. At least Streamlabs is free. I'm tempted to just tell StreamYard to take a hike and go back to Streamlabs. Right. Yes, I'm live. Take a hike. Yes, I'm going. Right. Off we jolly well go. So here the film begins. Right. Warner Brothers. So I'll probably get a copyright claim. Warner Brothers and Universal are the two ones that you always get copyright claims. They're a pain in the ass. They are, I tell you. Right, there we go. Warner Brothers. It begins. A cool musical score, by the way, for this by, I forgot his name. I don't know if I've seen his name on any other films. Gary Chang. But it's got a really good, it's kind of a 24-ish score. It's one of those like, I don't know, it's like stereotypical action movie score, lots of do-do-do-do and stuff like that. But what else has he done? Don't know, let's have a look. Can we hear it on this? Don't know, because I'm pressing the wrong button. I'm stupid. That sort of music. Where were we? Gary Chang. Right, what's he done? Breakfast Club. There we go. Everybody's favourite film, except me. I've seen it once. It was okay. Yeah, he's done a load of films. I think he's done some Steven Seagal films. That's Jean-Claude Van Damme. Death Warrant. He's done that as well. The Island of Dr. Moreau. And other stuff. And some TV as well. So there we go. So he's been busy. As Gary Chang. Right, we begin. Excuse me. The Sea. So mysterious, so beautiful, so wet. Anyway, there it is. Steven Seagal, his name in Big Blue. And here is the USS Missouri. This is the real USS Missouri. The majority of this, the entirety of this film, were filmed actually on the USS Alabama, which were docked in, I've forgotten where it were docked. Hang on, I'll tell you in a minute. I'm blanking already. In Mobile, Alabama. Isn't that a landlocked state? Is it? Has it got a river? It must have. Anyway, it was there, filmed there. But the footage we see of the Missouri at sea, I don't know if it's stock footage or if they just went and filmed the ship. I don't know. But anyway, there it is. At sea. Apparently, according to this film, I don't know if it's true, America's last battleship. And obviously it's the ship that the Japanese surrendered, they signed the surrender stuff at the end of World War II, wasn't it? So anyway, so here we go. So they're heading to Pearl Harbor because it's going to be decommissioned and the president's coming on board and it's all the crew's excited except for Casey Ryback. There he is, Steven Seagal, who is the cook or the chief cook or whatever. He's chief petty officer Casey Ryback. He's the cook, and he doesn't like all this pomp and circumstance because they're all expecting him to put his dress uniform on, and but he doesn't want to. Is this where we've seen a dolphin with the... Yay, look, a dolphin. Did you see it? I think you did, didn't you? Colomini, good old Colomini. Come on, dolphin, you're going to come back out of the water. Yes, you did see it, right. There's the captain. I can't remember his name. I can't remember the captain's name. Just bear with me. Captain Thingamabob, Captain Adams, played by Patrick O'Neill. He's got one of those faces, hasn't he, that you've seen him in loads of stuff. But he plays a good part in this. Plays that irascible old captain by the book. He's a good man, and he's a friend of Casey Ryback. He's the reason Casey Ryback is on this ship and not dishonourably discharged from the Navy. There's Gary Busey in full mental mode. You remember in 1988 he had a car crash or a motorbike crash? He had some sort of motor vehicle accident where he got brain damage. He was never the same after that, was he? And he was a bit unhinged before, wasn't he? But afterwards, he went full off the farm, didn't he? And he's way out there in this film. Then in the background you can see Glenn Morshower, who plays an ensign in this film, even though he's 30-odd years old. Maybe he's just rubbish, I don't know. But anyway, he's been in stuff like 24, Godzilla. He always plays either government agents or military officers or police officers. He always plays, authority figures, Glenn Morshower. Anyway, so they're all talking about the president coming aboard, and it's the captain's birthday, so there's going to be a surprise birthday party, which the captain doesn't know about, which is all to do with the shenanigans which will go on. By the way, it'll be spoiling the heck out of this film. So here's the captain telling Ryback to get in his whites, and he's saying, I don't really want to. I've got 50 gallons of bouillabaisse to make. But so it basically lets him off. Says, okay, but just don't show your face until after the ceremony. So off he goes. And here, Gary Busey's character, Commander Krill. What they call him Krill for? That's what whales eat, isn't it? The baleen whales eat krill, don't they? Wasn't Krill also the name of the commander of... I forgot the name of him now. I'm blanking. In the last Starfighter, that was Commander Krill, wasn't it? Sure it was. In the last Starfighter, the main baddie. What are they called the baddies now? You were here to defend the Star League against Zua and the Kodan Armada. He was the leader of the Kodan, so I had to go through all that, didn't I? Anyway, so he's asking the captain, why does he tolerate that clown? Which is kind of ironic, given what Commander Krill gets dressed up as in a bit. But he says, leave him alone. The captain says, leave him alone, leave him be. He's more than just a cook and all that. There you go. He's more than a good cook. You have no idea now. Let him be, XO. So, yes, sir. So Gary Busey's going to be the main baddie. Why does this fella look like a blurry Martin Sheen? Does, doesn't he? Obviously, ain't him. By the way, I could have swore Tamara Morrison were in this film. There's an actor in it later who plays one of the baddies. I could have sworn. I thought, oh, Tamara Morrison's in this. He isn't. It's just somebody that looks like him. Anyway, so here we are. They're arriving at Pearl, where the real president of the time, George H.W. Bush, is going to be giving a speech. So here we go. So there's all this there. They're down in the galley getting ready, cooking food. Commander Krill doesn't want him cooking food because he's having food brought in from the mainland. But Ryback says, only I cook for the captain and all that stuff. So they're cooking and doing all that stuff. There's George H.W. And his missus, Barbara. I think Dick Cheney's lurking somewhere as well. Is he? If you see somebody snarling, that's Dick Cheney, isn't it? Oh, look, she's got a reptile eyes going. Look. Don't get me started. I'm going down the conspiracy rabbit hole. Anyway, look at all that garlic. What the hell is that there? I have no idea, but garlic. So they're safe from vampires at least. Anyway, so it was speeches and all that stuff. Oh, there he is. There's Dick Cheney. Look, snarling. So anyway, right. So they're doing all this, and then they're going to head off to San Francisco, where the ship will be decommissioned. Meanwhile, Casey's chopping carrots, showing how expertly he is. I bet that wasn't even Steven Seagal. I bet they got Gordon Ramsay in or somebody to do that. Anywho, so off they go. That was probably one of the few shots in the film where where they actually have a real background, because this is supposed to be in Pearl Harbor, obviously, so they've got the lights of Pearl Harbor in the background. Because remember, this was actually filmed on the USS Alabama, in Mobile, Alabama, and so it's supposed to be at sea, by the way, with the ship, so to stop the lights of the city, they put big black screens all the way around the ship, or where they were filming anyway. So you couldn't see the city lights because they're supposed to be at sea. But anyway, here it goes. There's the real USS Missouri. Speaking of the USS Alabama, wasn't that the name of the submarine in Crimson Tide? I'm sure it was, because they said "Go Bama Go," didn't they, in that? So, was there a USS Alabama submarine? I've no idea, but anyway. Directed by Andrew Davis. There we go. There's Bernie Casey, Winggrace knows as Commander, I've forgotten, in Deep Space Nine. One of Ben Sisko's friends who joined the Maquis, didn't he? Calvin something or other. Cal Hudson? Something like that, ain't it? Anyway, there he is, Bernie Casey, as one of the officers. So, anyway, right, so life aboard the ship. Here's Glenn Morshower as Ensign. I can't remember the name of his bloody character. Where is he? Ensign Taylor. Anyway, it must be galling, because it's like, I don't know how old he's supposed to be in this film, but in real life, it's like, I think Glenn Morshower were about 31, 32 when he made this film. So it must be galling still being an ensign at like 30 odd years old. You think, am I ever going to get promoted? Because I don't. How old are they when they come out of the academy? I don't know. Anyway, I'm not a military person, so I don't know. Anywho, he was throwing his weight around. He's telling this is the fella who's obviously in charge of helicopter landings, and he's saying only the captain can authorise a helicopter, to land on the deck. And he's saying, how is the captain going to authorise a surprise party? So anyway, he's going to convince this fella to allow an unauthorised helicopter to land. And there we go. That's how he's going to do it. With Miss July 89. When this is called, I forgot already. Where is she? Where are you? Where are Erica? Jordan Tate. In this, but I'm sure I read in the trivia. It's probably in there somewhere. I don't know. I haven't highlighted it. That Erica Eleniak actually was the Playboy Playmate of July 1989. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what it says. But there we go. So that convinces him. So he says, okie dokie, we'll let the helicopter land without the captain's permission. Anywho, this officer is not happy about what Krill is ordering. Like he's telling everybody's got to be, ready to go to the celebration and all that, and no roving patrols and all that. And he's saying, no, we've got a skeleton crew as it is. We need to keep security up. We're a military vessel. And he says, just do as you're told. He says, okay, but I'll mark it in my log that I've done this, in protest. So anyway, so there we go. Right, so they're having fun and games in the galley with Cue Ball, who I've no idea, but it seems like, I don't know. Does he think he's Will Smith? Maybe, I don't know. For some reason, when you see Steven Seagal doing all this fun and game stuff in this film, it just doesn't ring true for me, because he's a terrible actor. He's bloody awful. Honestly, I don't know how he's got so successful. I genuinely don't know. I'm not a Steven Seagal fan, but anyway. As I said, there's no charisma. He's just there. He's got a face like a bloody dumpling. And all he does when he fights, he just does that. But whatever. I'm sure there'll be people saying, oh, he's amazing. But it's not for me. Right, so anyway, so he's coming telling her they're all supposed to be up at the celebration, blah, blah, blah. But he's saying, no, I cook for the captain, blah, blah, etc. So, anyway. Right, so, yes, Krill is getting a dressing down from the captain. He's found out about the helicopter landing. Don't know how, it doesn't say. He's the captain, he knows everything. So, he bluffs his way, but he's saying it's a present from the president. He's got a surprise for your birthday. So he says, okie dokie then. Okie dokie. I'll stay here. Because he's saying, if you could stay here till we come for you, he says, I will be engrossed in a novel. So anyway, so here they come. Here come the bad guys and Erica Eleniak. There's Colin Meaney, you may know from Star Trek and Stargate and loads of other stuff. And there's Tommy Lee Jones. And the rest of his gang. There they are. No Tamara Morrison. Pie's going in the oven. He's got his big thing of bouillabaisse. There we go. There we go. What sort of pies are they? I don't know. Lemon meringue? Probably. Don't know. They get burnt anyway later. Right, so in comes Krill and tells, what are you all still all doing here? Your orders, you've got to go to the party. And basically, he forces his hand on Ryback. He pushes his luck with him, spits in his bouillabaisse. There we go. Honks in it, and basically, gets him to punch him. So there we go. Struck an officer. So there was fighting some more. So they can't put him in the brig. So they lock him in the meat locker. So and then he leaves this young private. I can't remember his name. To look after him, and he's saying, he's an insubordinate, he's a psychopath, and he hates officers and he hates America. So obviously, it's not true. Because Gary Busey is the baddie in this film. Anyway, so there you go, they're on their way. We see that she's not feeling so well. She doesn't like travelling helicopters and ships, and she's going to throw up. And he gives her some tablets to take that'll help, which she does take. Quite a few of. Anyway, so here comes the helicopter. There we go. They're all, woo, wow, yeah. She's got an amazing figure, I must admit, but she does kind of have a monobrow. And she does kind of look like a man in her face. Maybe that's just me, says Steve, the most, gorgeous person in creation. Being sarcastic. But anyway. Right, so here they come. They're the entertainment, the food and the entertainment, and she's going to go get ready. She's going to go. Look, she's got a monobrow. She's going to go climb into her cake after she takes all of her tablets. There we go. There you go. Right, so they're all having fun. There we go. The band is called the Bail Jumpers, and his case is saying, something bad's going on. Go talk to the captain or call the bridge and all that stuff. But obviously he's not doing. Here we come saying, here's Miss July, 89. But out comes Commander Krill, dressed up in drag. The other officers are saying, what the? Because he's mental. He's Gary Busey, and he looks like he's having the time of his life. But anyway, so they're going to go get the captain, him and Colin Meaney. What's Colin Meaney's character's name? I genuinely can't remember. Of course, I'm stupid. Where is he? Dormer. Dormer. Anywho, right. His pies are burning. There we go. Get my pies out of the oven. He actually says that a couple of times. There we go. They're burnt. Right, so, he's going in to get the captain, and he's going to shoot him. Have I missed a bit? I think I've missed a bit. Have we? Oh, no, we're all right. So, he kills the captain. Or maybe he's not done it yet. I don't know. Because you never know this bloody skip. No, not yet. He says, I'm your date tonight. Now it's good. Now the action's going to start. There we go. Because Tommy Lee Jones, whose character's name is... I can never remember. Where the hell is he? Why are they not in... Why is this order on IMDb all wrong? let me look at thingy. William Stranix, former CIA agent, this fella, with a cool leather jacket. Anyway, he's asking who the highest ranking officer in the room is. And this fella that I think is what I thought looked a bit like Martin Sheen earlier on when he were blurred. Anyway, he's Commander Green. Sounds like somebody from Captain Scarlet, doesn't it? Dun 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 dun. Captain Green. Except to a Lieutenant Green in that, wasn't it? Anyway. So there we go. And he shoots him. Like that. Bang, like that. Do you know how they do them, by the way? Them effects like that. As though somebody's been shot in the head. That's they have a little, they have the wound and then they have a flesh-coloured piece over it, and there's a line, isn't there? And when they do the shot, they just pull it off, don't they? So it just leaves a red dot. No CG necessary or actual bullet holes. Anyway, so they obviously they hear the gunshots and says, "What's going on?" So he shoots the captain. And then Colomini shoots the security guard or the guard, whatever. So now it's all kicking off now, and they're going to put all the crew in the forecastle, which is Navy lingo for forecastle, which is the front of the ship, which we'll see in a bit. There we go. He's saying, "Call the captain." Is Casey. So they're moving all the crew. Obviously, some of them resist and get shot for their troubles. There we go. Like that. And he says, comes on, and he shoots another man. There's Stranix, and he says, if any of you resist, we'll not only shoot you, but we'll shoot the man next to you as well. So, do as you're told. So they weld them. There we go. They weld them all into the forecastle. So here we go. They're doing all cool stuff. There we go. Taking the rest of the officers and crew prisoner. He's getting in the safe. He must know the combination, and he's getting the discs out that control the computerized thingamabobs on the bridge. Anyway, he's also reading his evaluation reports and stuff like that from the captain. He's not happy because the captain thinks he needs a psychiatric evaluation. He says, "Do I look like I need a psychiatric evaluation?" To which Tommy Lee Jones replies, "In a minute." There we go. Have I muted it?
I gotta change.
Never mind. Missed it. Never mind. He says, "Not at all," in that Tommy Lee Jones voice. Right, so they're getting ready now. So they go. They put put them all in the forecastle. He's going to say it here now. Yeah, there we go. Your destination is the forecastle, because it's the Navy, and they've got weird terms, haven't they? Anyway, this is the forecastle, but it's not a castle. It's on the ship. Anyway, never mind. So, right. So they've got control of the ship now, of the USS Missouri. There we go. And they've overridden their systems. There we go. It's showing them sealing off the ship. There's the forecastle. Look, most of the crew are in there. Right. So on the welding parts of the ship up, and they're doing a railing system. So, because they're going to be moving nuclear missiles, Tomahawk missiles, using this railing system. So, there's going to be workmen welding beams and stuff in a bit. Anyway, the young private, whose name I can't remember. I don't know. Private. Does it say? I have no idea. It could be anything. Never mind. The young private opens up the door and says, "I will see what's going on. You stay there." Meanwhile, he's having some meat. Because they're all savages and all like just eating meat like animals. Like that. Look. Anyway, yes, the young private is calling the bridge and saying, "What's going on? We heard gunshots." And so Commander Krill gets back to him and says, "Oh, that was just the music." And party poppers. It were party poppers going off. Don't worry about it. I'm sending somebody down to relieve you. So, Private Nash. There we go. So he says, okay, there we go. I'm sending someone to relieve you, which means they're sending somebody to kill him. This is where not Tamara Morrison comes in. Anyway, so he sends two men, Kates and Ziggs. Right, let's look up Kates and Ziggs. Who's Kates? Right, Kates is Tom Mozilla. Where's Ziggs then? Ziggs. Why is he not listed? Why is he not listed? He ain't, is he? Maybe he is. There's Zix. Or maybe it's Zix. Z-I-X. But that's not Tamara Morrison either. Does he look like him in his picture? Have a look. No, he doesn't. There's nothing like him. It does in this film, though. Maybe it's not him. Anyway, whatever. Right, so... So he's sending two. He said, maybe we should send more. I'll go. He says, no, you don't need to go. They're professionals. They can handle it. Because obviously they don't know what Ryback's capable of. So here they come any minute now. They're hearing more gunfire and stuff. So here they are. Look, there we are. Him looks just like. I think he looks just like Tamara Morrison, doesn't he? Don't you think he looks like Tamara Morrison? I think he does. I like a cross between Tamara Morrison and Joe Pesci. He doesn't look anything like him now. I'm thinking about it. Anyway, so they're going to kill him. There we go. They shoot him to bits, and go in the meat locker. Obviously, he's nowhere to be seen. He's hiding. He's Casey. He soon takes him out. I don't know how he got up there, but he did. Takes them two out. Just knocks them down and locks them in the meat locker. The poor Private Nash is dead. He had handcuffs on, by the way, so he takes the key off Private Nash and unlocks his handcuffs. Meanwhile, not Tamara Morrison and the other fella shoot off the handle so they can get out. Look, like that. Look. It looks nothing like Tamara Morrison. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so they'll come out, and so he's going to do some of his cool fighting. I know nothing about fighting. I just get killed instantly. But anyway, so he takes one fella out with a knife to the neck. We're going to see it in a minute. No, he gets that knife off there. We'd seen him, by the way, earlier on throw that knife. Probably that had been cutting the carrots with. Onto that board there, just to show how cool he is. Has he done it yet? He's going to throw this knife at this fella, not Tamara Morrison. There we go. Gets him in the neck. Swift and silent. And Justin's here saying, hello everyone. Hello Justin. Welcome to the show. You've not missed much. The action's just got going. Steven Seagal's killing people already. Anyway, so we're going to take this fella out. There we go. Bit of fisticuffs. I'm sure later on in the film he just rips somebody's throat out. It happens really quickly, and there's no blood. But anyway, it looks like it. But that's near the end. Right, so he's going to make a quick bomb. He's going to shove in the microwave. Like that. For later. He actually switches it on, so I don't know how long he puts it on for, but it doesn't go off for ages. And you don't hear the microwave going. My microwave, you can hear it halfway down the street when you press, start. But obviously, Navy microwaves are quiet. Maybe it's not a microwave. Maybe it's just an oven. I don't know. But anyway, he's made a bomb and put it in there. For later. Right, they're doing stuff. They've got an F-18 coming in. This fella, by the way, are we gonna see him? There's Colomini having a drink of the bubbly. It's not going to show him, is it? Never mind. So they're going to take out this F-18. There it is. I don't know who did the visual effects for this. I think there's a lot of model work, obviously. I don't know who did them. I don't think it's a real F-18. Let's have a look, see what it says. Let's have a look. Visual effects, special effects, visual effects. It's just names. It doesn't say what company it is. Never mind. I should have looked in the credits at the end, shouldn't I? But I didn't. But they're fine. They're okay. I don't think the CG effects in this. Not that I've noticed. There might be some. I don't know. But it's be all practical to me. Practical explosions and models blowing up and all that stuff. I think they even repeat a model blowing up. But anyway, right. So here comes the F-18. There we go. I wonder if it's one of the F-18s we're seeing Independence Day. Anyway. Right, so Casey has got out of the galley now, dealt with the 2 guards in there. He's found the captain's dead, so he's not happy about that. Because remember, he was the captain's friend. So anyway, so he covers the captain up and wants revenge. Here comes the F-18. And they're just going to take it out, this fella here. I forgot the name of the actor. All the way back up now. And I probably can't remember now. Rum-ti-tum, tiddly-pum. Where is he? Pitt is called. Richard Andrew Jones. Apparently he was a teacher for a long time. And then became an actor. And apparently he can do a backflip on demand. It's according to IMDb trivia. And Snortopoopus Cubers here. Welcome. How are, he says. Anyway, they're going to take out this F-18 with that's a bad composite, isn't it? Look at the line round that. Bloody hell, that's terrible. Take it out with the gunny thing. There it is. There it blows up. A cool model blowing up. Very Top Gun. Presumably we're in somewhere in the Pentagon or wherever. They're gathering round, or the brass, and this fella's the head of the CIA or a CIA chief or whatever. Don't ask me what his name is. I have no idea the name of the actor either. See if I can find out. I think the cast on. Let's look on here. Tom Breaker. There we go. Played by Nick Mancuso. Why do I know that name? What's he been in? I do know that name from somewhere. Hey, Black Christmas. All right. Yes, the original Black Christmas. He were in that. That's probably where I know the name from. Anything else? Did you know? I didn't know that until I've just read this. Mancuso's performance in another film, which I can't find, Ticket to Heaven, put him in the running to play Indiana Jones in Raiders of the Lost Ark. So there you go. But it didn't, did it? What else have I seen him in? What did it say? Black Christmas. Yes, seen him in that. I have no idea. He's been in loads of stuff. Outer Limits. We're in Under Siege 2 as well, playing the same character. Cool. Anyway, whatever. Right, so the top brass are gathering to, work the problem. That's Admiral somebody or other, and we've got captains and generals and all of them. And this is where we learn that Stanix was a CIA agent under Tom Breaker, and he went, rogue. So Breaker sent out a squad to terminate him. And it didn't work. He terminated them and sent their fingers back to Breaker. So anyway, so now he's basically wanting revenge. That's what he is. I'm not really sure what his motivation is. I know it's money. There's money. They're being paid a lot of money for these, because they're stealing Tomahawk missiles, nuclear ones. Man, mate, there was the saying there, 32. Oh, excuse me. But apart from that, I don't think that's his only motivation. I think he's wanting revenge on the system that has, irked him. Anywho, so here he is telling them, Ship is mine. If you try anything, we'll blow anybody up that tries to come near the ship. Then he's telling them that he's got the codes for the weapons and all that stuff. That's where he's telling him that, he used to work for me and now he doesn't. So anyway, he's doing a bit of a monologue, a Tommy Lee Jones monologue. But anyway. Right, so I've also learned later on, well, I don't think we're learning this, but there was a deleted scene that we learned that he and Ryback know each other, or that they've crossed paths before. So I think Ryback, is it this one? Ryback were in command of a SEAL team. He was an ex-Navy SEAL, and on a mission, he got bad intelligence from him, shall I say, and his team were basically all killed apart from Ryback, and so the Captain Adam, instead of having him, dishonourably discharged, he allowed him to. He were busted down to Chief Petty Officer, and he says he allowed him to finish his 20 years service or whatever to get his pension and all that as his personal cook. So did him a favour. But I think, I think in that mission, I'm thinking that in that mission that's where he encountered Stanix. But cause they said later on, long time no see and all that, and I think that's it. But I think it was a deleted scene where we learned that. So anywho. Right, so they know they've got a problem, and they're going to send SEAL teams in to retake the ship, and if that fails, they'll just have to blow the ship up, because the Nimitz, the USS Nimitz carrier, and I presume its group, are in the area as well. So that's what they're going to do. Right. They're firing a missile. What are they firing a missile at? Yes, I just remembered. Yes, so anyway, they fired a missile at a satellite control thing. I presume in Hawaii, because they're not that far from Hawaii now, are they? It shows it here. The bit of footage, probably from the Gulf War, because that's when we learned all about smart bombs, in the first Gulf War. But, so there we go. What does it say here? There we go. Taking out our satellite relay. Don't they have any others? Anyway, getting AWACS in and all that. It's the government. They'll have other ways to do things. Here they are. They said they're building this rail to get the Tomahawks off. We've got to build all that rail and then a big crane and all that because the submarine's coming. Anyway, so they're letting them get on with it. Meanwhile, the crews are in the forecastle, just wondering what's going on. Right, Casey arrives in the mess hall or whatever, see dead bodies. And the cake is there. Remember who's in the cake? I'm going to have to be careful here now, aren't I? that bit. Apparently, I think this was. Where did I read this? I think this is in the trivia thing. Back in the days of VHS rental tapes, this were rented quite heavily. And they're always having to replace the tapes. One of the most replaced tapes because the bit where she pops out of the cake was the part that were rewatched most. It says it somewhere. See if I can find it. See if I can find it in the trivia. Let's have a look. I'll do a Control F. Just type in VHS. Yes, here we go. At the time, this film was a huge hit in video rental shops on VHS tape. Remember them? However, the stores had to continually replace their copies as Erika Eleniak's striptease sequence was frequently worn out from being constantly rewound and replayed by viewers. Yay for Blu-ray and DVD. By the way, body count underneath here. 100 people are killed in the film. Crikey. Anyway, right, so he's making his way through. And you notice that the cake is near a door that he wants to go through. So that's why he's going to kick the cake. He kicks the cake and it goes across. And now she's going to pop out. We're going to have to be careful here now. Snortopooper says, I visited the battleship Alabama and the submarine drum museums. Yes, the submarine we see is the USS Drum museums in Mobile, Alabama in 1980. Both were used in the filming of this movie. Yes, they were. Yes, they were. And as I said earlier on, hang on, unfortunately, Erika Hellenic wasn't on display there. Wasn't the submarine in the Crimson Tide called the USS Alabama? I'm sure it was. Anyway, right, so here we go. I've got to be careful here now. If you see any boobs, I apologise. I'll get off them as quick as I can. But she's going to pop out the cake here. Oh, for Pete's sake. There we go, the lights come on. We should get ready to open herself up and we'll see everything, but we won't. I'll be quick. Ooh, that was close, wasn't it? I think I was lucky there. Gets all the boobs out and everything. Very nice they are, as I said, but I think she's got a man's face and a monobrow. But, whatever, I wouldn't say no. Not that I get the opportunity, but we learned she'd taken, it's not poop, I love cake, yes. It had to cover herself up and say, what's going on? And we learned that she'd taken those pills and she'd just fallen asleep inside the cake and she didn't hear anything. All the shooting and stuff. Until the music started playing and she just popped up out the cake. Sounds a bit suspicious, doesn't it? Anywho. Right, so, obviously, she says, are you some sort of special forces person or anything? And he says, no, I'm just a cook, a lowly cook. I hate Steven Seagal's acting. I do. Bloody awful. But anyway, so she's saying, I'm an actress. So I did, what do they call it now? Like a Hunter episode and a Wet n Wild video. Anyway. So she's all sad and crying. But later on in the film, she becomes an action star, and I think she even joins the Navy, I think, by the end of the film. She's in the uniform anyway. But there we go. I hate his acting. I don't like Steven Seagal.
Cook.
A cook?
Lowly cook.
Get off, you crap. I hate you. Anyway. Right, so they're still working out what to do. We learned that some of the Tomahawks, there we go, are nuclear tipped, 220 kilotons each. So they've got to work out what to do. And so where we learned that his last mission, was to go and blow up or sink a North Korean sub. There we go. But obviously that didn't happen. He obviously got the sub. He's saying, we're certain that he sank, whatever, the submarine. Obviously, he didn't, because we're going to see it in a minute. Yeah, we're positive he sunk it, and then we cut to instantly. There it is. A model of the submarine. Is that a model of the USS Drum? I have no idea, but there it is. So here it comes anyway. Right, so they're on the radio. They're on the radio to the submarine, saying, we're here. Anyway, right. Kate's and Ziggs are missing. They haven't been able to get them on the radio for 5 minutes, so they've got to go and investigate. He tries locking her in a locker, so she just starts banging and screaming, "Let me out!" So she's got to go with him. Anyway, so he has her carrying everything. Oh, there's this extended scene where he's explaining automatic and semi-automatic to her. Luckily, it does sink in. But anyway, I don't like Steven Seagal. Anyway, right, so they find the dead bodies of Kate's and Ziggs, and he's saying, look, this is not the work of a cook, a professional did this. And he said, he's just a cook, he came with the captain. He's good with cooking knives. And he's saying, a knife. And he shows a knife that's all covered in blood. He got lucky. And then we hear the microwave ping. There we go, get down. And it all blows up like that. Takes out at least one of the bad guys. Oh, by the way, see the menu here. Look, cases, kimchi. What the hell is kimchi, by the way? I have no idea. It's an American thing, isn't it? Kung Pao Casey. Senior Ryback green chili. El Paso chili, Cajun gumbo, Boston clam chowder, mother's steak and kidney pie, and that whatever that says, pasta Rybackiano, suckling pig, New Guinea, something oysters. I can't really read that. Pampas oysters. Isn't that testicles? I think it is, isn't it? Is that bull's testicles? I'm sure it is. I don't know what that says. Mata Panier a la Ryback. I have no idea what that is. Pau Thai and some other sort of pie. Echidna? No, it can't be, can it? I don't know what it is. And some other stuff I can't read. Oh, that's blowing up. There's a poor dead man. Kimchi is a type of disgusting Korean food. Okie dokie. Always remember kimchi. The film Harry and the Hendersons, which in the UK at the time, it's not anymore, but when it was first released, were called Bigfoot and the Hendersons. But the film Harry and the Hendersons, I always remember kimchi because the next door neighbour to the Hendersons, they had a gardener, obviously Korean, and they were called Kim Lee. But the woman, who employed him kept calling him Kimchi. That always pops in my head for some reason. Her screaming kimchi at him, and him going, "It's Kim Lee!" Anyway. Right. Where were we? He used the microwave as a detonator. Right, so they've got to deal with him. We want to see the personnel file on this plain and simple cook. Lowly cook. Meanwhile, Dale Dye's arrived. The famous soldier turned actor, and they were always in a lot of films and TV shows, military. He was always the consultant wanted, and if they wanted somebody to be a soldier officer, it was always Dale Dye. But anyway, so there we go. There he's. They're working out what to do. Meanwhile, he's going to get hold of Case is going to get hold of a satellite link-up thing, so he can phone up the Pentagon in a minute. We were learning about Ryback. There we go. Ex-SEAL. Expert in martial arts. Explosive weapons tactics. Silver Star, Navy Cross, Purple Heart with cluster. Go on, what else? Security revoked after Panama, so he could only rate as a yeoman. There we go. Or a cook. How little did I know. There we go. Dale Dye does a lot of training of actors for military movies. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. I say he's been in loads of stuff, and if he's not appeared in films, his military films, you always see his name, don't you? He's like a consultant and that. Anywho. Right, so they've got to deal with him now. They've got the roving patrols out trying to track him down. But they've got to stay on schedule, whatever. He's got her carrying all their equipment. And she said, "Why do I have to carry everything?" He says, "Well, I'm a supporter of woman's lib." Besides, I'll carry the bags and you shoot everybody we come across. Anyway, there we go. Why? 2 rules. 1, I don't date musicians, and 2, I don't kill people. She looks like bloody Macaulay Culkin, doesn't she? Anyway, never mind. Right, so I think this is where he's going to get his phone. It's a Navy SEAL satellite link-up thing. There he's setting it up, look. Nobody's noticing him do this, by the way. Thankfully. Right, so there was a SEAL magnaphone. Magnaphone. That's some off Robocop, doesn't it? Lethal response. Anyway, so he's going to phone him up. And there we go. Do you know somebody called Casey Ryback? And, oh, yeah, Chief Ryback. Yes, I can vouch for him. So, anyway, they tell him not to do anything because the SEAL team's on the way or whatever. Just keep giving us on-site intel. So anyway, they were telling him about he punched the officer in charge because of Panama. That's how he got demoted. Anyway, right. So they're sending in a helicopter with a rescue team on. It's where he's given her the MP5. She don't use it yet because she's rubbish, but she becomes amazing later on. Right, so he's going to sort out the helicopter. She says, "Why can you fly that? You can just fly us out of here." He says, "No, I can't. I've got other stuff to do. I've got to blow it up." There they are with the whatever they are. Are they the Tomahawks? I have no idea. I don't know anything about stuff. But yeah, go 200 million. So he's getting, saying, "What are you going to do with 200 million in the bank?" So he's getting what is that? Just for him, or it must be, mustn't it? So what are the others get? How much are they getting for all these missiles? And who's buying them? Don't know. It seems to be like a French fella with a French accent. The French got their own nukes, though, haven't they? Anyway, I don't know. So he's going to buy the presidency. Meanwhile, there we go. He's putting paint thinner in with the fuel or whatever, and then he's going to stick a grenade somewhere. Hang on, where is it? Have I missed it? I'm not exactly sure. There we go. Puts a grenade under there, pulls the pin and puts it under there. Is it going now? I don't know how long the time is when you pull the pin before a grenade goes off. I don't know. Can you adjust it? I have no idea, but it doesn't go off for ages. Because they see him, they start shooting at him, and he runs away, and then it blows up. There we go. In a minute. Get time to get this this chain that turns into a big long rope. And then it blows up. Cool practical effects. Boom. Is that on the Alabama, or is it on a set? I have no idea. Or is it a model? I don't know. Don't look like it, does it? Don't like a composite. It looks full size, doesn't it? Because I think they did in this, with some of the effects in this, they did like rear projection, didn't they? A bit like what they did in Aliens and some other films where they did rear projection with the actors in front. But that didn't look like it. That looked full size, didn't it? Anywho, there he is hanging off the back of the Missouri. Right, so he climbs back up. They've found her, the bad guys, and they'll get your hands off me. So he makes short work of these as Casey. Here we go. Ding, dead. Come on, we've got to go. Another grenade that he puts in the door. And he knows somehow. He says, "Don't go near that door," but they do, and it. Hang on, where are we? And it blows up. For Pete's sake. Where is it? There we go. Is it? Yes. There we go. Blow the door up. So some more bad guys. Good job, there are plenty of bad guys, isn't it? About 30, I think there was to start with. Anyway, right, so what they've got to do now is to sort out Ryback. They're basically going to drown all the crew in the forecastle. So they're going to start the sprinklers, and it's going to flood that compartment and drown them all. And Ryback will try and save them, and when he tries to do that, they'll get him. That's the plan. So, you're a maniac. Anyway. They will explain to her a railing system to offload the missiles onto a ship or sub. We learn it's a sub that's coming. Anyway. They hear some Morse code through a door. So it's been welded shut. So he's going to unweld it. And this is where we meet some more of the crew that have been locked in there. Along with him, he's one of. I saw him in the kitchen. I can't remember the actor's name. He was in Alien Resurrection. He's been loads of stuff, hasn't he? But I always mix him up for another actor. I can't remember who. Anyway. There's Troy Evans, who apparently got into a bit of a beef on set with Steven Seagal. Apparently Steven Seagal is a bit of a bully on set. And in a scene, maybe this scene or maybe a scene later on, I think it's near the end of the film, I don't know, but anyway. In a scene, Steven Seagal, I don't know, it says he improvised or something and dressed down Troy Evans in front of everybody and give him a telling off or whatever. And Troy Evans basically just said, told the director, cut, cut. I'm not standing for this. And he basically told off Steven Seagal in front of everybody and said, if you talk to me like that again, I don't care if we're doing a film or whatever, or if you're improvising, if you talk to me like that again, this veteran, because it turns out Troy Evans had served in Vietnam and all that and was a veteran, I'll give you the beating of your life. And apparently that shut Steven Seagal up and he apologised and everything. So, and he says, if I knew you were a veteran, I would have given you a bigger role. And says you could stuff your role. So there we go. Anyway. So, this fella obviously taking a shine to Jordan. By the way, he's rubbish. He's a rubbish soldier. He's not even a soldier. He says, I do laundry. But anyway. Right, is the helicopter coming? Have they picked it up? Is it on its way? No, that's it. No, that's it. There's some sort of power surge because they're doing stuff, look. And basically they're going to make the power go off for the weapons in about half an hour. I don't exactly know how that works, but that's what he says. It says in about half an hour, in about 30 minutes, the power to the weapon systems will go off. I don't know why half an hour, but that's what he said. There you go. It should disable their weapon system within a half an hour. Why don't it just do it straight away? I have no idea. It's on the timer, it seems. Anyway. So here we go. He's showing him. They're going to show him. Turn your attention to the ship's monitors, he says in a British accent, but he doesn't. And he's showing them footage of the crew drowning in the forecastle. He says, "Good for him, Seagal. He's full of himself." Yes, he is. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of Steven Seagal. As I said at the beginning, I have no idea how he got so successful because he can't act, and he's not even that good. Not that I'm an expert, but the martial arts stuff, there's a lot better out there in film. Jean-Claude Van Damme and all them, and the Hong Kong martial artists and all that. He's not even that good, is he? All he does is that. But anyway, don't like him. But he does have a cool first name. Anyway, so here they are showing him, they're all drowning. They shoot somebody just for good measure. So, anyway, so saying, give yourself up and we'll save him. Says, no, we've got to save him because it's a trap. So, anyway, so here they are. They've got a plan. They're going to go and save the crew. There we go. So they're in a shootout now. He was turning off the water, this fella. I think he gets shot, or one of them. One of them's got shot anyway. I think he dies. And then all the admirals call. Oh, by the way, they're dropping the anchor. I'm not exactly sure where they are. They're in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. How long's the anchor chain? I have no idea. But they're dropping the anchor because the submarine's coming. So I'm guessing there must be an anchor depth or whatever. So anyway, they're on the magnaphone back to Casey. And she answers it. He says he's busy at the moment in a firefight. Can I take a message? So, anyway. So they're telling him that, SEAL teams are on the way. So, try and, assist their arrival. Justin says, I like his movies, but don't like that he never really gets beat up. Yeah, I was actually, as we're watching this, I've seen this a few times, but I was watching it towards the end, I was thinking, he hasn't been hurt in this film yet. Nothing's happened to him. But then at the end, he does get a little nick on the side of his head there. So I thought, right, fair enough. But that's all he gets. Don't like him. Anyway, where is he? Never mind. Right, so anyway, they're taking out some more soldiers, shooting and all that. Oh, this fella gets a good one. This huge, jagged piece. Let's go back again. Where is it? He's looking up there. Look, just happens to be underneath this, oh, Pete's sake, huge jagged piece of metal with a spike on it. That's going to fall on him. It just happens to be standing underneath it. Thinks, oh, I won't move out of the way as I'm watching it come down. I'll just let it get me. Go! Ties another one up. Meanwhile, these fellas, these are bad guys, by the way. They're cutting up some more of these beams. This is going to get used in a minute, isn't it? This saw thing. And me. So here he is. Look. Giving it all that. Stabs him under the arm. He must be one of them vampires. He must be a Reaper off Blade 2, because he stabbed him under his arm to get his heart. I know. Anyway, so he takes all them out. Did he get the fellow with the? He gets the fellow with the that saw thing. Oh, that might be a bit. Is it this bit? There we go. Gore, gruesomeness. Right, so here come the SEAL team, but they're going to take them out in no time at all. Oh, he's going to try and shoot them down, but the weapons go offline. So maybe 30 minutes must have passed. All the weapons go offline. Says, something's wrong. We're sitting ducks. But luckily, they do have backup stuff. There we go. They're firing bazookas or whatever. I don't know. There they are. And they blow up the helicopter. Well, they're just one. I thought there were two, to be honest. I'm sure they said there were two, but they just blow up one. Maybe the other one turned back. I've no idea. We lost them all. So, right, full air assault from the Nimitz. I'm guessing at this point the Nimitz is not back in time doing Pearl Harbor nearly. In that film, The Final Countdown, which has nothing to do with the band Europe. That's a good film, by the way, with Kirk Douglas and other people. Martin Sheen. It's got Martin Sheen in it, hasn't it? We mentioned earlier. Who's the other fella? I can see his face. He was in the Blue Thunder TV series. No, I don't know. I can't remember. It'll come to me. Anyway, that's by the by. Right, so the Nimitz, so they're on another countdown. They're gonna send, an airstrike or whatever to take them out. Meanwhile, Case is making things. Not exactly. He's making a bomb, isn't he? He's making a little bomb that's going to blow up. It's going to damage the submarine with it. There we go. He's heating up things and doing stuff, and got grenades. Look, he likes using grenades because they must be multifunctional. And he's using condoms to put things in, and then getting goopy goo out of whatever it is. And there we go. And then he's going to don a wetsuit that must just be lying about. It's a ship. There must be lots of them. And off he goes. There we go. Swimming by the submarine, and climbing up, and where are we? Hang on, where is he? Has he put it in? They see him, by the way, and here we go. Hook that son of a gun with the anchor, or whatever it is. It's not an anchor, is it? It's just what they call a grappling hook thing, isn't it? And actually get him. There we go. And he comes out because they pull it out, and it's got all the rubber thing off his wetsuit on. So we got him, but he jumps out. It's all injured look, and he puts the bomb by the whatever that's called. It's like a fin in it that they've got at the side of the submarine. I don't know what they're called. It'll say later on. They were saying we got him, and they check for a bomb. And meanwhile, this swum away because he's Casey Ryback, Steven Seagal. Even though he's had a a grappling hook in his back, he's fine. But he's about to get killed, actually. Look, he's not well. So I actually forgot about this. I was saying later on, dive plane, is that what they're called? There we go. Thank you. I was saying later on, he got a little cut on his forehead. He's actually got massive cuts on his back. But it doesn't really bother him. Because I think she probably dabs. I think she sorts him out, this Erika Eleniak, and he's fine. But he's about to get killed here by Colomini. There we go. There's Colomini. He's going to come and get him. There we go. You're incredible, Ryback, he says in that Colomini voice. It's a shame you're not cooking for us. What does he say? Oh, no, not is that it. Fair enough. And then he gets killed to death. There we go. By Monobrow herself. So she's learned how to use the MP5, even though she doesn't like guns. And then he says, next thing you'll be dating musicians. So there we go. There you go. Right, so the bomb had gone off, damaged the dive plane, and we'll get it fixed. Right, she's dealing with him. Look, he's fine. I'd probably put some iodine on. It's just putting a blanket around him. He's fine, and a bit of a bandage. He's firing a missile to Honolulu. That's actually firing 2. He's going to fire 2 Tomahawks, nuclear ones, to take out Honolulu. By the way, he's saying, I can't fix it. He can't get the power back, he says, so he pulls a gun on him. I'll sort it out. So, anyway. Right. So they've got to work out now what they're going to do next. She's looking a state, isn't she? She doesn't look very glamorous there, does she, does Erica? Anyway. So they go, what weapons have they got? Because the submarine, they get the submarine fixed, and it's heading off. I think they've got some of the Tomahawk missiles on already. I don't know how many, but it's leaving now with Commander Krill aboard, and so they're talking about what weapons have they got to take them out, and they've got these 5-inch guns, and I hate his voice here. I hate Steven Seagal. I do. I hate his voice. He goes, "Good as mate, yeah, chief," and it's a bloody condescending way he speaks.
Mate. Yeah, chief. You see those? Still got shells for those.
I hate. He's a shit actor. I bloody hate Steven Seagal. I suppose he had to be. He's a producer of the films. I suppose he had to be in it. Didn't he? Anyway, there we go. He's sorted it out. They can fire 2 missiles now at Honolulu. Meanwhile, she's suddenly become an expert at everything. By the way, she's helping out. They're going to get the big guns going, and they're going to shoot at the submarine as it trundles away. Anyway, she's asking, if we blow up the submarine, won't the nukes go off? And she says, no, it doesn't work like that. They'll sink with the sub. I'm guessing he knows that for sure. Right, so here they are, getting the guns ready. That's all. I've got starburst, just like a flare, I suppose, and just lights up the thing. But little do they know, they do actually shoot one, and it nearly hits them. Look, So anyway, they're getting ready. They're getting their range now. Look, they've got this fixed now. They've got it fixed, and it goes down in a minute. There it goes. So now they can dive. So they've got to get them before they dive. And there we go. Oh, that's him looking through the periscope, isn't it? They're going to fire a torpedo at the Missouri. Was that the Missouri? Like a bloody trawler, didn't it? It's going to show it. That's not the Missouri, is it? What are we looking at? Oh, is that the submarine? Can't be, can it? What the hell are we looking at? No, that's him looking through that, isn't it? That's not a submarine. Anyway, whatever. Anyway, so they're going to get blown up now. There we go. He's looking at. We're going to get blown up, and there we go. Blow up the submarine. So Commander Krill's gone. Yay. She's all, yeah, we did it. So he's not happy. It's Tommy Lee Jones. By the way, he's doing that because he were outside. He were under the guns when they were firing. So we're like, because it's super loud. I think he does actually have blood come out of his eardrums. Meanwhile, Roger Daltrey there from The Who, wondering what's going on. Sorry, I just think people look like other people and they don't actually look anything like these other people. Like Tamara Morrison, for instance. Anyway, so it's kind of gone mental now. I think this is where he's going to fire the the 2 Tomahawks at Honolulu. He tells all the others to get to the captain's launch or whatever it's called, and they're gonna, head out. Right, so he tells them all to go. Says, right, 4 minutes. Meet us there, 4 minutes. So off he goes. Right, so there he's getting ready to fire the Tomahawks. There's one goes, and then it goes, pew, and they fire another one from to the side. And right, so they're like, oh no, they fired missiles at Honolulu, and 1 million people will die. Oh no! So they've got scramble planes and stuff to intercept them. There they are. Look, getting ready. Meanwhile, they're going to have a shootout with the bad guys because they're all heading to the captain's yacht launch or whatever it's called. And they take out these bad guys really easily. Anyway, is it this fella that he rips his throat out? I think he does, actually. By the way, earlier on we saw Kane Hodder. Remember when they'd caught her earlier on, and he took them 4 out really quickly. One of them were Kane Hodder, who's more famous for playing Jason in the 4 of the Jason Friday the 13th films. This fella, is this the fella who rips his throat out with his bare hands? Sure he does. Is it this one? Yeah, doesn't he? Does he? Let's go back again and watch that again. Yes, he does. Rips his throat out with his bare hands. There's no blood or anything. Just got dry throat in his hands. Look. What? What's going on? I have no idea. How bizarre. Anyway, so they take care of them. And he gets to the bridge, and obviously he's going to have a fight now with Tommy Lee Jones after some exposition and chit-chat and all that stuff. And it's here where they say, long time no see, but it doesn't tell us how they know each other because it was from a deleted scene apparently. But anyway, he smashed up the stuff so they can't detonate the missile. Or they can't. Actually, what does he say here now? There you go. As you can see, what does he say? There'll be no return. I don't understand what that means. Do you mean they can turn them over or what? I don't know. I don't know what it means because they get control of the missiles and they detonate them. But anyway, whatever. Anyway, right. So they're going to have a fight in a minute. They're trash talking each other and all that. And at least Tommy Lee Jones is a good actor, isn't he? But anyway, so they're going to start fighting. There we go. For some reason, there's a big knife there. Oh, because they were cutting the meat with it earlier on, weren't they? So there was a reason for it to be there. And here we go. Let's give it all that. Look. And he's just, like I said, doing little stabs and stuff and slashing on Tommy Lee Jones and not getting a nick or anything himself. But he does actually get a little cut on his head, and I can't remember how. How does he do it? Pushes him over there. What happens? Right, so they're fighting here, and they're locked like lovers. Is it now? Just shove that now, Tommy. Just shove it. It'll be like the Joker. Prods his eye. Bit ago. Hang on, where did that come from? See, when did that happen? Hang on, we ain't got it there. Hey, how did he get that nick? Oh, there we go. There we go. That's how he gets it. Pete's sake. Prods his eye and then stabs the knife in the top of his head. Well, actually, the top of a prosthetic Tommy Lee Jones head, like that, and then shoves him in the radar screen, and then takes the discs out to control the missiles. But I thought he destroyed everything. That obviously not. Anyway, meanwhile, this is one of the pilots that's after one of the Tomahawk missiles. He takes one out. There we go, like that. I'm sure we see the exact same shot again in a bit. Or maybe not. But it said somehow the other ones got through. Well, just have they got any more missiles? They just have one missile per plane, obviously. But anyway, it slipped through. So it's down to some shots of it heading to Honolulu. Right, so basically, we've only got time for one shot, they said, but, they're not shooting, it puts the disc in, and, it's Magnavox, lethal response. It puts the disc thing in, and then just the computers come on, and it types numbers in, and it blows itself up. So what was the point in all that stuff that he broke before? I have no idea, but anyway. So he types the stuff in and then it blows up. And like that. Which I think is the same shot as we saw earlier. By the way, a little parachute comes out. It's that little parachute there. What's that supposed to be? Is that the nuclear warhead? Is that got a parachute so they can retrieve the nuclear warhead? If so, that's a nice little touch, isn't it? But anyway, whatever. Or maybe it's the pilot. That's had the pilot in it. It's like one of them early German buzz bombs, like early like V1s. They had pilots in, didn't they? To start with. Anyway, so there we go. So yeah, oh wow, this woman here, what the hell's she doing? Yeah, so they're all cheering and stuff. It's fair enough, but this woman officer here, who I think is a commander, going on the stripes, just grabs hold of the admiral. Oh. And gives him a big hug. Probably a bit of a peck on the cheek. Steady on, woman. Steady on. But anyway, so they're all happy. Yay! They've saved the day. And now he's doing stupid voice because I hate him. Look, I hate him.
I got a Zodiac here and some Sea Rays.
I've no idea what he's talking about. I don't bloody know what he's talking about. But I hate Steven Seagal. I've decided. I think I hate Steven Seagal more than I hate Telly Savalas. And that's saying something. Anyway, so they're all happy. There we go. Earlier on they were saying if it all goes wrong and Honolulu blows up, him and this other fella were saying, we'll blame it on the cook. Because they're baddies, aren't they? Real. Because the CIA's... evil, innit? In films. Right, so here we are. They're sorting the ship out. They've got to get the people out, the forecastle. Here they come with the water. And there we are. All rescued. Even Glenn, what's his face there, the ensign. Obviously, he wasn't with the bad guys, obviously. He was just following orders. So, yeah. So, what they call him? He arrives. And where is he? Where is he? Oh, never mind. Him that thinks he's Will Smith. You hate Telly Savalas? Yeah, I do. I don't like. I've never liked Telly Savalas. I always thought there was something a bit creepy about him. But anyway, and he couldn't sing, but he still made records. But seriously, not like William Shatner made records and just spoke through them. I think William Shatner knew that, it were ironic, but I think Telly Savalas actually thought he could sing. Anyway, whatever. There's him again, Will Smith. And then he goes and kisses her, and, by the way, yes, Kojak, yes, Telly Savalas, Kojak. Don't like him. Anyway, so he gives her a kiss, which she was probably thrilled about. There is a thing in here somewhere in the trivia about where is it? Pamela Anderson. Where have I seen it now? It's in here somewhere. Where have I seen it? And there we go. Pamela Anderson said in 2018 that she was a contender for the role of stripper Jordan Tate that later went to Erika Eleniak. But she said she didn't get the part because she found herself in a casting couch scenario with Steven Seagal and spurned his advances. She said he told her, if you don't do it, then that girl across the hall will do it and she'll get the job. Anderson told him to give it to her then and left. Eleniak has stated that Seagal never acted inappropriately with her during casting or filming and joked that maybe he just wanted to sleep with Anderson. Who can blame him, to be completely honest? But anyway. So they get a snog. There is another bit in the trivia that said he kept pushing to have a full-blown sex scene with Erika Eleniak, but they never did. He got a kiss at the end, and that's it. And there we see the Missouri heading to San Francisco. There it is. Its final port of call, just like the Enterprise heading back to be decommissioned at the end of Star Trek 6. But this is the Missouri. Here it comes. Oh, there we go. And then they're having one last ceremonial thing at the end. I think there's a... Oh, where are we? There's the coffin for the captain. Even though loads of other people died as well. I'm guessing they're all there as well, but we see him. He's got his dress uniform on and he's saluting and all that. And hang on, where are we? Does it show it? There we go. There's the coffin. And we see that... there she is. She's in a Navy uniform. Has she joined up? She must have done. There you go. I have no idea. Or have they just given her a uniform so she can just be there? I have no idea. But she's there in uniform. Looking sad. And like a... She actually looks like a boy, doesn't she? I don't know. She's got an amazing figure, but I don't find her attractive whatsoever. Apart from a figure. Anyway, right. There we go. The end of the film. There we go. With him saluting. Excuse me. Right. The mighty Mo, the Missouri. That said, filmed on the USS Alabama and the USS Drum, which was the submarine, in Mobile. And it was also filmed in Fairhope, Alabama. An airport hangar was converted into a studio for some indoor scenes. And obviously also some shots in Pearl Harbor and San Francisco. So there we go. And it was filmed between March and May of 1992. So pretty quick, to be honest. A couple of months, wasn't it? Like a 2-month shooting schedule, whatever. So there we go. So that's the end of Under Siege. A cool film, apart from Steven Seagal, who I don't like. But the film itself is actually really, really good. And it's not over long either. I mean, a film like this, you'd think... I actually put it on, I thought, it's going to be like 2 hours, is this film. But it actually is like an hour and 42 minutes. So, you know, and it goes on at a fair old clip. And before you know it, it's over. So there you go. Good film, despite... Steven Seagal. But there we go. Yeah, really good film. I don't mind the sequel as well. Hang on, let's go back. I want to see who did the visual effects, won't I? Let's go down and see what company did the visual effects. Is it good if it tells us? So, by the way, it's the only one of Steven Seagal's films that were nominated for an Academy Award. He got 2 nominations for sound effects and sound editing or something like that. But it didn't win. It lost out to Dracula and another film. I can't remember which one. Where were we? Visual effects. Second unit. Hang on, I've obviously gone past it, haven't I? Got music bit now. Where's visual effects? Visual effects. Sound editors. Cameramen. Special visual effects by Intravision International. Never heard of them. Right, fair enough. Well, they did a decent job. I mean, the aeroplanes and stuff like that. You know, there'll be models and that. I don't think there are any CG in this, will there? Even though there was CG in 1992, wasn't there? I mean, Jurassic Park was out a year later. But anyway, there we go. Right, so yes, so there we go. Good film. Right, so yes, the second one, Justin says the second one is good also. Yes, the second one. I might do that tomorrow. I might do a special tomorrow. I'll pre-record it. I won't do a live one. So I might add that tomorrow. Maybe. It depends. If I'm not busy, we'll see. But yeah, Under Siege 2 is not bad. I don't mind it. On the train, a young Katherine Heigl in it, isn't it? But it's got the astonishingly gorgeous Brenda Bakke. I don't know how to pronounce it. Bakke, isn't it? The amazing eyes. She's in it. Does she die in it? I think she might do. But the second one is a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun. Directed by my mate's dad. It's got the same name as the director as my mate's dad. Anyway. Right, so we'll leave it there. But yes, Under Siege is well worth a watch. If you haven't seen it, I'm sure everybody's seen it. But it's well worth a look. And it's on Amazon, I think. I can't remember now. I'm going to have to check. I'm going to bear with me. I'm going to have to check me thingamabob. Where are we? Boom. Is it that one? Yes, it is. Yes, you can buy it on YouTube UK. I don't know why you can't rent it on YouTube UK. You can buy or rent it on YouTube US. And it's on general, normal Amazon Prime in both the UK and US. So if you're an Amazon Prime member, you can watch it for free on Amazon Prime. So there we go. Right, so we'll leave it there. What's coming up next? Wednesday. I think this Wednesday I'll be doing my Star Trek Voyager Season 1 review of each episode of Star Trek Voyager Season 1. Only 16 episodes. A bit of an up and down season. It's a typical Star Trek first season, I suppose. But it's still fun. So that's on Wednesday. And on Friday... Where have I put it? What's there? On Friday, for Friday Night Appointment with Fear this week, we're doing... Oh, I can't see. Hang on. There. Insidious Chapter 3. We'd done the first two previously, obviously. So we're doing the third one this time. So I quite like this one. I like this one better than the second one, I think, if I'm remembering rightly. I like the last key as well, which I hope I should be getting tomorrow, hopefully. But we're not doing that yet. But the red door were bloody awful. But anyway, that's by the by. Right, so we'll leave it there. So thanks, Justin, and Snortopoopus. Cool name. Don't anybody else pop in? Obviously, we had Windgrace, who's lurking in the background. I'm sure he's up to cool stuff. I don't know what he's doing, but he's up to cool stuff. I'll just check on Rumble, make sure there's no messages on there. Let's have a look. No messages on Rumble. No, right, fair enough. Right, so we'll leave it there. We will leave it there. Yeah, so we're all done and dusted for another week of magnificent Mondays. Have I decided what next week's film is? No, I haven't yet, have I? I haven't yet. So I will think of something. And we'll do that next time. Right, so we'll leave it there. I'm waffling. I know. I don't know why. I don't know. I'm all a dither. I think I'm hungry. I've got a big pan of curry in the kitchen, and I want to warm it up and eat it. Hey dear. Right, so thanks for watching. Wherever you are, look after each other, and until next time. Hang on, where are we? Where is it? There it is. And until next time, I'll say that. I'm sure I've forgotten something. But I don't know what. Tough. I'll say the.